I've been standing here for 20 minutes waiting for my cab. What if we had a cab service that's efficient, reliable, and truly understands passengers' needs, delivering on time while improving service for everyone?
And this is exactly what my presentation today is about, how GoodCabs company, with help of data-driven decisions and strategic insights, is transforming the ride-hailing experience in Tier 2 Indian cities, solving challenges like this and setting a new standard for cab services. I'm Gleb Bikushev, this is the resume project number 13 by Code Basics, and I'm happy to present to you what I got out of it. In this presentation, I'll cover 7 key sections: a company overview, a problem statement, primary and secondary analysis, business requests, a dashboard overview, and actionable recommendations. So let's get started with the company overview. So GoodCabs was founded 2 years ago and has quickly established a strong presence in the Indian market, specifically in the Tier 2 cities. It focuses on bridging transportation gaps in these regions, supporting local drivers with sustainable income, and ensuring high passenger satisfaction by balancing between driver welfare with excellent service. So let's talk about the problem statement. GoodCabs needs to analyze and assess several key metrics, such as trip volume growth, passenger satisfaction, repeat passenger rate for sustainability, trip distribution across cities, and balance between new and repeat passengers. Our primary analysis focuses on uncovering trends and insights that can directly influence GoodCabs operations. Let's explore these insights in more detail. So the question 1 was about the trip volume insights, and our analysis identified Jaipur as the top performing city with 77,000 trips, followed by Lucknow and Surat. In contrast, Mysore, Coimbatore, and Visakhapatnam recorded the lowest trips, highlighting potential underutilization or lower demand in these areas. Question number 2 was about average fare and distance insights. So Jaipur had the highest average fare of 484, likely due to the longer trip distances of 30 kilometers, while Surat and Vadodara had the lowest fares of 117 and 119, while having shorter distances. Also, we can conclude that pricing factors beyond distance, such as demand and city-specific costs, also influence fares. Question 3 was about the passenger and driver ratings. So Mysore recorded the highest average passenger rating at 8.7, while Surat had the lowest at 6.4. Similarly, Kochi leads in driver ratings, while Surat is at the bottom. Notably, new passengers tend to give and receive better ratings compared to repeat passengers. Question 4 was about the peak and low demand months. Our analysis identified February, April, and May as peak demand months, while January and June experienced lower demand. These trends can help optimize resource allocation and marketing efforts. Question 5 was about the weekday versus weekend trends. So weekday trends dominate in cities like Lucknow and Surat, accounting for 77 and 69% respectively. Indore, however, shows an almost equal split between weekday and weekend trips, indicating balanced demand patterns. Question 6 was about the repeat passenger behavior, and in the first part of this question, I classified the repeat passengers by high-frequency passengers who had 5 or more trips per month, and low-frequency passengers who had 2, 3, or 4 trips per month. Then we classified cities based on the high-frequency passengers contribution. So if the high-frequency passengers is more than 50%, this is business-focused city. From 20 to 50% mixed-use city. And if it's lower than 20%, this is tourism-focused city. Tourism-focused cities tend to have high passenger and driver ratings, premium fares, and longer trip distances, reflecting positive experience and leisure-oriented trips, while business-focused cities have lower passenger and driver ratings, cost-efficient fares, and shorter trip distances, tailored for frequent point-to-point travel. Question 7 requires to assess monthly target achievements for each city, and we will start with the target trips. So our analysis shows that tourism-focused cities such as Jaipur and Mysore consistently exceeded their trip targets, reflecting strong demand for leisure-oriented travel. In contrast, business-focused cities like Lucknow and Vadodara underperformed, possibly due to overestimated targets or lower demand. Mixed cities such as Coimbatore and Chandigarh stayed close to their targets, showcasing stable performance. Now let's bring insights into the monthly target of new passengers. So business-focused cities like Coimbatore and Surat excelled in attracting new passengers, likely driven by frequent onboarding of business clients. Tourism-focused cities like Jaipur underperformed, which may result from seasonal fluctuations or premium pricing that can deter new customers. Mixed-use cities benefited from their diverse passenger profiles, maintaining a balanced new passenger acquisition rate. Let's bring insights about the target of average passenger rating. So, tourism-focused cities such as Jaipur and Mysore exceeded their average passenger rating targets, reflecting high satisfaction levels in these regions. Meanwhile, business-focused cities like Vadodara and Lucknow fell short, indicating potential service quality gaps. Mixed cities like Chandigarh and Indore closely met their targets, reflecting consistent passenger satisfaction across these regions. The last question of my primary analysis was about the repeat passenger rate, and as you can see, the repeat passenger rate varies significantly across cities. Surat and Lucknow recorded the highest rates at 43 and 37%, driven by consistent service quality. Meanwhile, Mysore and Jaipur had the lowest rates at 11 and 17%, likely due to a lack of retention strategies or seasonal tourism focus. Seasonal trends also played a role, with May showing the highest repeat passenger rate at 33% and January the lowest at just 19%, reflecting reduced post-holiday travel demand. Our secondary analysis dives deeper into the factors influencing the repeat passenger rates, seasonal and emerging mobility trends. Let's take a closer look. Our analysis of question 1 highlights key factors affecting repeat passenger rates. Business cities benefit from cost-efficient fares, driving higher repeat rates, while tourism cities often struggle due to higher pricing. Demographic patterns also play a role, with daily commuters in business hubs like Surat showing higher repeat rates compared to leisure travels in tourism cities. Seasonal trends reveal May and June as peak months for repeat passengers, while January and February see the lowest rates due to favorable conditions for tourism, leading to a decrease in daily business commuters. Question 2 was about the seasonal demand and marketing. So, tourism cities like Jaipur and Kochi experience peak demand from February to May, driven by cultural events and favorable travel conditions. However, June records the lowest trip volumes across all cities, likely due to weather conditions and the academic calendar. To address this, marketing strategies can promote services during peak months and offer discounts during off-peak periods like June to stabilize demand. Question 3 was about the emerging mobility trends. So, emerging mobility trends like electric vehicle adoption, shared mobility, and green energy are transforming Tier 2 city markets. GoodCabs can leverage electrical vehicle integration to reduce operational costs in cities with high trip volumes like Jaipur. Aligning with the sustainability not only attracts eco-conscious customers, but also enhanced brand loyalty. Deploying electrical vehicles strategically and partnering with governments for charging infrastructure will position GoodCabs as a forward-thinking, eco-friendly brand. Question 4. Partnership with local businesses offer great opportunities for growth. In tourism-heavy cities like Jaipur and Kochi, collaborating with hotels and event venues can enhance guest experiences and boost trip volumes. Meanwhile, high footfall cities like Lucknow and Surat can benefit from partnership with malls and shopping centers for co-branded promotions and exclusive pickup zones. These collaborations strengthen customer loyalty and drive mutual growth for GoodCabs and its partners. The last question of the secondary analysis is about data collection for insights. So, to make data-driven decisions, it's essential to collect metrics on customer behavior, operational efficiency, and market trends. Surveys can capture passenger travel purposes, feedback on service quality, and reasons for trips cancellations. Operational data like vehicle performance and driver activity helps optimize efficiency. Finally, tracking high demand routes and seasonal patterns can guide service improvements and expansion opportunities. Now let's take a look at the business requests, where I crafted SQL queries to address specified business requests and prepared table reports. So this is business request number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now let's take a look at my self-explanatory interactive dashboard. So this is the main page of my dashboard, where we have a snapshot of 4 critical sections. Overview, a quick snapshot of trip performance, including revenue, fares, and distances traveled. Ratings, to get insights into passenger and driver ratings. Passengers, to compare key metrics for new versus repeat passengers and analyze repeat passenger rate. And targets, to track target achievements. We'll start with an overview page that's split into 3 key sections. Trips, revenue, and distance analysis. So we have KPI cards, total trips, that also shows the month-over-month trips number trend using a tooltip. Total revenue with month-over-month revenue trend, total distance with month-over-month distance trend, average fare per trip, and average fare per kilometer. As for the visuals, there are a bar chart, total trips by city, categorized by city type, business mix, and tourism, stacked column charts, top 3 and bottom 3 cities by month in terms of trips number, total trips by month. And here, using this button, we can also observe total trips by day type. And finally, there are 3 tables providing a detailed breakdown of trips volume performance, total trips by city and months, by city and day type, and peak and low demand months for each city. Also, there is an additional info button above the page title where we can see the breakdown of repeat passenger types, city types, and abbreviations like repeat passenger rate. Now let's move to the revenue analysis section. Here we can see total revenue by city, with option to switch to total revenue by month. And in the table below, we can see a detailed breakdown of total revenue by city and months. Then we have a comparison of average fare and average distance for trips in each city. And below that, we can see a table of average fare per trip by city and months with the option to switch to the table of average fare per kilometer by city and months. The final section here is the distance route analysis, where we have total and average distances by city. Also, there is a breakdown of total distance traveled by day type using a donut chart and by month using a column chart. The slicers are the same on every page except the targets page. So there are city, months, day type, and passenger type. KPI cuts are not affected because they show the values for the entire period of time. By clicking this button, we can clear all the filters. Now let's move to the ratings analyzing page using the navigation button on the left. This page split into 3 key sections: passenger rating, driver rating, and the comparison between passenger and driver ratings. As for the KPIs, there is average passenger rating with a month-over-month trend. Also, the cities with the highest and lowest average passenger ratings. Then the KPI cut of average driver rating with month-over-month trend. And finally, the cities with the highest and lowest average driver ratings. As for the visuals, there is average passenger rating by city and passenger type, new and repeated. Below we have a table providing a more detailed breakdown of this, so we can switch between the options by city, by month, and by day type. Then we have a line chart of average passenger rating by month, and the column chart by city type. Now let's move to the driver ratings analysis page. As we can see, all the visuals are the same, but for the driver ratings. The last section here is dedicated to direct comparison between average passenger and driver ratings using the line charts. Here we compare them by city, considering the city type, and we can also compare them by months. Now let's move to the passenger analysis, which is split into 2 sections: repeat versus new passengers, and repeat passengers and repeat passenger rate analysis. We have KPI cuts repeat passenger rate, as well as months and cities with the highest and lowest repeat passenger rates. So we have a count of new versus repeat passengers, total trips by month and passenger type, average distance by passenger type, and the average fare by month and passenger type. Next section is repeat passengers. Here we have visuals of repeat passenger rate by city and by month. Next we have a table frequency of trips taken by repeat passengers by city. Next we have a column chart of the percentage of high frequency passengers by city, and the last visuals here is the table of high and low frequency passengers distribution by city. And the last page of my dashboard is dedicated to target achievements in metrics such as trips volume, the count of new passengers, and the average passenger rating. Here we have a table that displays monthly target trips versus actual trips achieved by each city. Also, we can switch to the target achievements representation in percentage. Then a bar chart of target trips achievement by city, and the bar chart of the trip difference from targets by city categorized by city type. The same visuals are for all of the metrics mentioned above, and for this page specifically we use only city slicer.
I'll finish my presentation with the overall recommendations that I want to give to GoodCabs after my analysis.
To conclude, I recommend 6 key strategies for GoodCabs: enhance passenger experience with loyalty programs and consist service quality, leverage local partnerships to boost trips in tourism-heavy cities, optimize pricing with competitive fares and discounts for EV riders, expand to sustainable mobility by deploying electrical vehicles in high-distance cities like Jaipur and Mysore, address seasonal demand with targeted promotions during peak and off-peak periods. Lastly, use data to improve routes, travel efficiency, and customer satisfaction. These steps will drive growth and elevate GoodCabs service. That's it for my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention.